talk. I gotta tell what I feel. I gotta talk about my life as I see it.
I'm the illest nigga alive. Watch me prove it. I snatch your crown with your head still attached to it.
Come on, man. This is God-given. Only thing I gotta do is just show up.
The nerve, the audacity.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for
Prophecies with the Prophet.
What is we talking about?
What's up, people? Welcome back to the Prophecies. Without vision, there is no understanding, and without understanding, there is no vision. Shout out to all the members. Say something in the chat so we can see who's all rocking and rolling tonight. I know this is normally only members only, but this is such an important and informational topic that I just wanted to open it up to the floor. If anybody has something to say, wants to join in, wants to debate with your boy, or, just wants to share their personal experience, the link is in the description of the video, and I'll put it in the chat as well. Y'all let me know if my volume and my visuals, everything is good before we start rocking and rolling. How's everybody doing tonight, first and foremost, man? It's cold today, people. It was hot yesterday. It's cold today, but what's up, people? What's up, Janine? What's up, Angelia? What's up, Tara? What's up, Diana? What's up, Rhonda? How is everybody doing, man? What's up, Tanya King? I seen all y'all comments. I seen it. I seen y'all. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. Tonight's topic is to poly or no, meaning polygamous or polyamory relationships, however you want to word it. We're going to break this down and discuss it. I've seen there was a lot of misinformation going on, or some people just don't even know what it is, but they're already jumping out the window saying, I don't want any parts of that. But you don't even really know what it means. But we're going to break it down and we're going to get into it, people. What's up, man? How is everybody doing? Let me see. Where should we begin, man? All right. Let's see, man. I'll give a blanket definition first and foremost. And then I'm going to play a video and then we'll get into it. Let me see. Where is my definition? Is it on this iPad or is it in my phone? If anybody has any questions, put it in the chat. I think it's on my phone, man. What's up, Tara? Yes, it is freezing. Misinformation was definitely given, man. Misinformation was definitely given. It wasn't from the prophet, though, people. Don't ever get that misconstrued. It wasn't from the prophet. It definitely wasn't from the prophet, man. Let's see, man, if I can find my information my definition before we get into this, man. I can't see shit today. Oh well, I don't think I have that. I can't find that shit. But some people deem to think that polyamorous or polygamy is just about having sex with multiple people. It's not solely based in sex. It's based in love. So it's based in having love for more than one person. That's what it's based in. It's not, everybody doesn't have to be having sex with everybody and X, Y, and Z. And that's just how it goes, man. Maybe I need to come to Atlanta then, Time King. Let's see what's happening, man. All right, I'm going to play the video and then we'll start breaking this down, people. I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all got your notebooks. I hope people are paying attention. Can we have an honest conversation tonight? That's all I ask. Can we have an honest conversation? That's all I ask. Let's go though. Here's video number 1. Shout out to Ayala Vazan. That was an interview she did on the Breakfast Club. What is your thoughts, people? What is your thoughts? Put your thoughts in the comment section. The things that stuck out to me the most, just in that particular clip, was she spoke on honesty. Now, y'all always are clamoring for people to be honest and tell people what you really want and X, Y, and Z. So you have to be open to receiving a person's honesty. And polygamy is the act of sharing love or just indulging in love, or the act of loving more than one person at a time. So that doesn't mean that everybody has to be fucking everybody. It could be a trio, it could be a multiples, 3, 4, 5, however you do it. It could just be one person who dates other people, and we'll get into that later as well. It could be a multitude of things. It's whatever you make it to be. It's not like, I don't know what y'all thought it was or what people seem to think it was, but the most important aspect about polygamy is honesty. Because let's play a little game. Let's play a little game. All right, y'all let me know in the chat and in the comment section how many people know people who are extremely committed in a monogamous relationship, but one or both parties is unhappy. Y'all let me know in the comment and in this chat box. How many people do you know are in a serious, committed monogamous relationship, and one or both parties are unhappy? Y'all let me know. Let me know in the chat. What's up, people? What's your answers? Y'all, as we speaking today, we're going to have an honest conversation today. Y'all let me know what y'all answer is. How many people do you know that are in a committed, monogamous relationship, but one or both parties are unhappy? And we can speak on current experiences or current what you see, like, just in your everyday going abouts. Or we can speak in your lifetime, even your family, your parents, X, Y, and Z. What's up, Helen? I see you in the chat. We're going to get into all y'all nonsense. We're going to get into it. What's up, Tanya King? Tanya King is raising her hand. Janine says she knows a few. That's what I mean. So don't get me wrong. I am not here to convince people to join the polygamy lifestyle or anything of that nature. I'm not even looking to be in a polygamous relationship, but I do say I understand it. Could I? Would I? Maybe in another lifetime. I don't know. Depending on the circumstances, I think that everything's a conversation. But I will say, I see a lot of y'all saying, y'all know these people, man. I see it. Okay, everybody knows these people. So that doesn't seem to be working out. All right, but to each his own. All right, now the next question is, how many people have you seen growing up or even in today's current day? How many people, let me see, I'm going to make sure I word this correct. How many people have you seen that may have had a second family, something outside of their initial relationship? How many people have you seen that have something outside of their monogamous situation, but those two people are happy, or one is happy? How many? Is this a thing? Have we seen this? Have we seen situations where somebody has a second family over there around the corner, somebody has a little boyfriend in the cut, somebody has a girlfriend out of town, whatever it may be? How many times have we seen people have something outside, but they're completely happy in their situation? That's what I'm saying. I've seen it as well. I've seen it as well. Let me see what Tanya King's talking about. Now, if I was unable to do what needs to be done, then yes, I probably would say yes. That's interpretation, Angelia. Yeah, we'll say all parties know about it. We'll say all parties know about it because the premise of polygamy is honesty. So we'll stay on that, on the all parties know about it. I definitely knew and seen families growing up, and still to this day, I know people that are in serious and married relationships where they know their partner has somebody outside, but that's what it is. Yeah, we've seen it a lot. Thank you, people, for showing up today. Thank you, people, for showing up today. We're going to have an honest conversation. We're going to have an honest conversation. Now, they say that for every marriage, 1 out of 2 marriages ends in divorce. So that's 50%. Or the numbers may even be higher than that at this point. So, and they say the basis or the reasoning for people either breaking up or getting a divorce is because one or both parties isn't getting what they want or what they need. Now, the whole premise of polygamy is to, yes, I may love this person over here, but we may not be full on compatible. We might not always get along, X, Y, and Z, whatever you want to call it. But do I have to lose this person because of those things? Or can we talk and have an agreement where certain things are afforded or allowed or known about? Or can we be grown up for once in our fucking lives? Because everybody always screaming how they grown, but they don't ever want to have grown up conversations. Can we be a grown up and say and put a plan together where we don't have to break up because of this and this and that, but you have your needs and wants, I have my needs and wants, and maybe other people fulfill those. Because like Ayala said, I don't feel like fucking cooking today. So he can go over there and let Shorty cook. I'm just asking a question, people. Can we get somewhere? I'm just asking a question. Can we get somewhere? Can we get somewhere, man? Exactly, Tiny King. They had separate families and the kids were playing together, man. And the kids were playing together. All right. I'm going to go through the steps of polygamy before I play the next video, people. So there's 4 basic steps that you have to follow in order to divulge in the lifestyle, man. All right, so step number 1 is you within yourself identifying and recognizing what your wants and needs is. So step number 1, people, identify and recognize what your wants and needs are. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is sharing that information with the people or person that you intend to be in a polygamous relationship with. Step number 2 is sharing the information. It means nothing if you identify your wants and needs and nobody never knows anything about it. So step number 2 is sharing that information with your people or a person that you want to be in a polygamous relationship with. Now, step number 3 is also reciprocation, listening to what your people or person, what they want and need. So there's a sharing of information back and forth. I need X, Y, and Z. You need X, Y, and Z. You don't want to do X, Y, and Z. You don't want to do X, Y, and Z. Such and such can do X, Y, and Z. Such and such can do X, Y, and Z. And so forth and so on. Now, 4th, and maybe the most vital step in polygamy is this. Exactly, Janine. People don't want to have grown-up adult fucking conversations. They want to act like little children. But 4th and finally, the last step is to clarify, which means Now that we've identified each side's wants and needs, there has to be certain agreements and or boundaries. In polygamy, they say don't um, conform it to rules because they say that rules are like what you put on children. You shouldn't put rules on grown adults. When you talk to a grown adult, y'all should have boundaries and agreements. So let's just give examples of said boundaries or agreements. So say you could be talking to your person, you could say, well, I want to know everybody that you deal with. Or one side could say, I don't want to know, or I should never see anybody that you deal with. However, you want to do it, these are examples of agreements or boundaries. You could say, if we're going to do this, then everybody has to be protected and safeguarded, which means condoms, um, being careful, people getting tested, X, Y, and Z. However you want to, however that plays out for you. These That's another example of boundaries or agreements. You might even say, this person may say, your person may say, well, I don't like anal. So I'll allow you to go out and do anal, but I only want you. You're only allowed to go out and do anal. You're not allowed to go out and kiss and make love with this person. These are all examples of set boundaries or agreements. And it doesn't just resort to sex. It could be, I love to travel. You don't love to travel, so I got a travel buddy. I'm not gonna fuck the travel buddy, but me and the travel buddy, we go on vacations. And that's what it is. These are all things that are worked into. This is my main question for y'all because I know a lot of people in the chat and in the comment sections deal in long-term relationships. So I think that polygamy is perfect for people that's in long-term relationships because if you're, I mean, a long-distance relationship, if you're in a long-distance relationship, it's not even humanly possible to fulfill your partner or to be there for their every want and need and X, Y, and Z and all of these things. So if you're in a long distance relationship, wouldn't this kind of make sense for you to be like, when you come into town or when I come into town or when we go X, Y, and Z, we're together, we're a thing. Outside of that, we're allowed to engage with other people. There's always agreements or conversations that can fit into this, meaning you could be like, all right, no, nothing serious. So if you want to smash somebody, you can smash somebody, but I don't want you to have a whole nother girlfriend. Or you might want to entangle with the girlfriend. So in polygamy, there's all kinds of relationships. You can have the man, a trio, which is the man, woman, and another girl or another dude, however they do it. It could be one girl and two dudes. It could be one guy and two girls. It could be all girls. It could be all guys. There's no rules in polygamy. You set your own lifestyle or standard. Let's see what's happening. Yes, it's all based in honesty. That's the whole point of polygamy. It's based in honesty and communication. All the things that people lack on an everyday basis that they're not emotionally mature enough to even handle. But if you're in an emotional space where you can control these things, then that should be afforded. So I'll play the next video where another young lady explains just the mindset that we grow up with and the mindset that it takes to be in a polygamous relationship. So here's the video, and then we'll talk about that, people.
a polygamous state of mind is going to be a heavy transition because your mind has already established the patterns, the do's and don'ts, what makes you a good person, what makes you a bad person. All those different things have been established in your mind. So you're going to try to mentally apply yourself in the same way. But poly is a different experience. It's a different lifestyle entirely. So if you approach it with the logic coming from a different lifestyle, you're going to have more bumps in the road, more hoops, more hurdles, more discomfort, more challenges, more stress, because you're trying to basically get a round peg to fit in a square hole. And that's not how it works. You have to understand that I've always had a round peg and it always fit a round hole. Now I'm trying to be square. So I have to figure out how to change my shape to fit this circumstance because my round peg just will not work. Pause. But so you have to learn how to adapt, how to grow, how to ask myself, well, if I'm going to live in this different lifestyle, what do I need to make this work for me? What are the things that I can't relinquish that I absolutely have to have in order for me to be happy and harmonic and peaceful and vibrant within this existence? And when you have that list, start communicating that with the parties that you wish to join the union with you so you can move forward together in unison. This is still a team sport. So just because there's now 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe more parties within your union does not mean that it's less of a team. If anything, you have to be more of a team because there's more parties involved. So don't be afraid to have the conversation. Don't be afraid of poly, because it's not about being accepted. It's about, can it meet your desires, your needs, your wants, and fulfill you in the way that you need to be fulfilled. If you can visualize that happening, then you can create that. And that means you can find happiness in a lifestyle that you didn't even know existed prior to. Peace.
Okay, people, let me know y'all thoughts, questions in the comment box. What she's basically saying is, our mindsets, or most people's mindsets who were raised on traditional monogamous thoughts and things of that nature, we were taught that it's supposed to be a 1v1. One person should be your everything. One person should be able to meet and fulfill all your wants and needs. But the older we get, do we not see or realize that that's a fucking lie? I'm just asking a question, man. Do we not see that that is not the truth in real life? I know y'all like to live in fantasy land and through land, and I would love to be a proponent of, yes, this one person is meeting my every checkbox. But just like Ayala said in the earlier video, I don't feel like it. That's what she openly said out her mouth. I don't feel like it. I don't want to do this shit sometimes. That's what she said out of her mouth. I didn't say it. She said it, man. She said it, man. No, it's not a sport. She was just making a reference, Janine. She's just saying that regardless of if you choose a monogamous relationship or a polygamous relationship, these people or that person is still your teammate. You still have to work together, whether it's one person, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what she's saying. You still got to work together. Your person's supposed to be your teammate, not your opposition. So many times that we're in spaces where the person that we're supposed to be loving to and receiving love is combating you and being an op instead of being a teammate. Would you rather be a teammate, or you enjoy being an op? That's what she's saying. Do you enjoy being an op, or would you rather be a teammate? Not that it's a sport, but we are teammates, man. We are teammates, or we're supposed to be teammates, man. So y'all let me know if y'all have any questions or comments, anything else about that video, because I got one last video that's my favorite one of them all. I got one last video. That's my favorite one of them all. Does anybody have any questions on polygamy in general? I'll see if I can find the basic definition. I don't really like basic definitions because there's so much lost interpretation or things that are unsaid. And the whole basis of polyamory is that you can make it whatever you want to make it. Like, it's supposed to be whatever you want it to be. So the basic definition says a form of consensual, non-monogamous, where people have more than one romantic or sexual relationship at the same time. So that doesn't mean that everybody has to have sex in the relationship. That just means that we all love each other. So it's a Greek word. Poly means many, and polyamory and amory means love, or amor means love in Latin, man. So it also says that people who are polyamorous believe that sexual and relational exclusivity is not necessary for a committed relationship. Right. So if a person has love for more than you, that doesn't mean that they're not committed to you. That just means that they have enough love for you and somebody else. The basic example of this is if you have more than one child, you love both or all of your children, right? Exactly, Janine. It's definitely way more than that. It's definitely way more than that. The grounds in polyamorous is to be honest and open, to identify your needs, to find healthy ways to communicate, to be kind and loving to each other, to always check in with each other, et cetera, man. So much that we could go on and on and on. What I'm trying to say is it's a bottomless pit of what you want it to be. So even if it's a friendship, you can have a friendship who's a part of your polygamous relationship, who you don't have sex with that person, but you love that person and you do things with that person, and all of y'all consider each other family. Or it could be, I have my people over here, you have your people over here, but me and you are always like this. So there's a multitude of things that go into it, and it's not just, I know I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, I'm not doing that, I'm not sharing, I'm not X, Y, and Z. And I'll get into the comments in a second, because I also seen people saying you're probably in a polygamous relationship and you don't even know about it. So that like goes against what polygamy is supposed to be. Polygamy is honesty. So you're not in a polygamous relationship if you don't know what's going on. You just don't know what's going on. Would you rather know what's going on? I would think that you would rather know what's going on. I would think that you would rather know what's going on. Exactly. There's a lot of self interpretation, man. And there's also depends on how you want to view it. Extenuating circumstances, or just general feelings, man. So that's what I'm saying, Janine. Wouldn't y'all rather know than to be in a relationship where you think you're the only one and this person is lying to you day in and day out? All right, I'm going to play the last video, which is my favorite, and then we'll discuss this. People, are y'all ready? Buckle up your seatbelts, because this one is so near and dear to my heart. It means so much. Y'all always tell me this is not real. I don't believe that. There's not women like this. And more than not, a lot of women are like this. But I'll play the clip and then we'll discuss it, man. Maybe some men like this as well, but I'm just saying. Here we go, people.
Define what asexuality is and then how that affects your experience as a poly woman.
Okay. So I did not learn about my asexuality until we became poly and years after we became poly, because I knew that there was a mismatch between our sexual desire, and that has always been present. It was present before Raheem, it was present in our marriage, and then it really got bad after we had our son. And that's when I was like, okay, I know this is not sustainable just from common sense. We know that that's not sustainable. So I started doing a lot of research because I just thought it was ridiculous to lose my marriage over sex. And through being polyamorous and having, partners who have talked to me about different, their sexuality and exploring my own sexuality, I realized that my sexuality is asexual, which means my desire and my my attractiveness, I guess, to people, sexual attraction, is low or not there at all. And so it ebbs and flows for me, but primarily I'm not having sexual thoughts in a day. I'm not like seeing a man walk down the street and being like, ooh, I wonder what that's like. No, I don't have those types of thoughts. So that was kind of my first inclination that something was different. Mm-hmm. And when I figured that out, it was really life-changing for me, because I just thought I was broken. I thought like, oh, well, sex just isn't for me. It's not something that I'm going to enjoy in my life. And then figuring out that this is my actual orientation really freed me. And
you
then
felt seen.
You know what? It's even more than seen. I felt whole. I felt like this is truly who I am. And that's one of the reasons I also wanted to share that too, because had I run into someone who told me they were asexual, it wouldn't have taken me 39 years to figure that out.
I would love to know like the statistics on the percentage of women who would fall into that category. May not identify themselves as that because, like you said, you were this, but you didn't even know that this was a thing.
Yep.
But I feel like just in my brain, there would be a large percentage of women.
What's up, people? What's up, people? Because this is something that I try to tell y'all all the time that is an extremely real thing. So if you get to a point where you're with your partner, whether that be a man or a woman, that don't match, meet, or even want to compromise to your level of your sex drive, do you automatically just break up, or can we once again have an adult, honest conversation of how we can handle this? Or do you just or do y'all think that you choose that person, so you should just stay in that and suffer, basically? That's my question. Do y'all think that the other party, if you deal with somebody who's asexual, is that part of your responsibility, your role or place to just stay in that and suffer? Or would you have the conversation with your person and say, listen, I don't really care about sex like that, or I don't like sex like that. So if you need to go get you some, go get you some, but just keep it cute, keep it clean, keep it, not everybody's business, shouldn't be frontline or whatever. But I know what's going on, you know what's going on, and we all good. What is y'all thoughts, man? Angelia, talk about. I'm not like her. I'm very sexual, but I wish I was that mature in my relationships. It would have saved me a lot of headaches. Exactly. At what point are we going to start being mature in our relationships? At what point are we going to start being honest in our relationships? And that whole I'm very sexual shit, it'd be a lie. Sorry. And I'm not calling you out specifically, Angelia, but I'm just speaking of people in general who throw things out there like that. Like a lot of people throw it out there like, no, I am sexual. You got to bring it out of me. No, I am a freak. No, you're not. People who are sexual and people who are freaks, they are aggressive. They bust moves. Stop it. You're not that. I'm not saying you, Angelia, but I'm saying people. They talk a lot, but they don't do shit. All right. Tanya King is saying, I would have a convo first, and if a change is not seen, then it's time to make a change. So, what would that change be? Are you going to break up status, or are we going to conversations of how can we make this work? Compromise, and I'm not saying everybody has to indulge in a polygamy relationship. What I'm saying is there has to be conversations at some point on how we need to figure this shit out. All right, Janina saying, I'm not nowhere near it. I did have this conversation and was given excuses, but I have needs and wants. After a while, I did what I had to do. All right, this is a great example, Janine, because a lot of times it's seen or it's only said, on the reverse side of this. But there is men whose sex drives aren't that high, whether that just be them, their natural personality, or their medical, physical issues, or some people, men and women, just work a lot. And sex is not their number one priority or goal in X, Y, and Z. Excuse me. So once you have these conversations, can we have the convers? I cannot. Not that they'd rather break up shit. But see, that's the problem, man. That's the problem, man. You don't have to break up with somebody just because you have something that doesn't match or a imbalance somewhere. That doesn't always have to. Because what if you still love that person? Now you broke up over something that you could go get a fix for. But what I'm saying, Janine, is this. In that conversation, both parties have to be mature and honest, and both parties have to accept what they're hearing and what they're giving. So if you're saying that this person is not satisfying you, he has to receive that and he has to acknowledge, hey, what can I do to meet you, somewhere in the middle, or just effort is what I'm saying. Or if I'm not around all the time, or if I'm not capable, I feel like they should allow you to do what you got to do. Why is that viewed as like, why is that viewed that way? Because you're not up to the task. I don't see that. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. All right, let's see what's happening. All right, Angelia is saying those are the ones that should be in a poly relationship. Um, I don't want to put everybody in a poly relationship because I don't think everybody's emotionally mature enough to handle it. I don't think everybody's honest enough to, or even secure enough, because a lot of people's going to get jealous and things of that nature, possessive. So I don't think everybody is like mentally prepared to even to handle a poly relationship. What I'm saying is we shouldn't frown our faces upon people that do choose these kinds of things. Because when I posted it, everybody's like, ew, no, the vote was like fucking 98% to one. Like, and then people didn't even know what the fuck it was. So how's everybody voting against it, but you don't even know the context of it? I always say context is super important. You're answering questions without context. You're answering questions without context, man. I'm a learner. I'm a researcher. Before I answer, I'm going to learn or know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not just going to be like, yo, would you try X, Y, and Z? Let me see what it is first. Like, I'm not just going to automatically say no. Let me see what it is first. What the fuck? Of course, it never came up because neither party brought it up. Neither party brought it up. Was there ever a conversation of I need more and what do you want to do about that? Or was it just shut down? That's not communication. That's not receiving. Okay. Shout out to you, Tina Renee. She said I wanted to be in a poly relationship. Shout out to you. Shout out to this is what I want to say. Shout out to Janine. Is Tara, you in the chat as well? Janine and Tara. Shout out to our New York people. If anybody else is from New York, let us know in the chat in the comment section because y'all are a big poly community. Y'all have poly recreation centers. There's a people think like this is not a thing, but it's a thing. It's a thing. They have poly recreation centers where people meet up and X, Y, and Z. This is a thing. Shout out to you, Janine, for doing the work. Shout out to you for doing the work, man. I see you, Tara. All right, what's Angelia saying? But they even do that in poly relationships. If you follow some, they still have jealousy. They still have insecurities at times. I think that's just human nature. Um, exactly, Angelia. That is a part of human nature, and a lot of people do that. Like when they're just engaging into poly, or just learning about it, or just joining a lifestyle because you don't know what comes with it until you're actually in it, or you don't know what comes with it until you actually know that your person is with somebody else. You actually seen your person with somebody else. So yeah, there's going to be that's what the second lady was speaking about is that adjustment period or the changing of your mindset because it's not something that we're used to. So if it's not something that we're used to, yeah, there's going to be an adjustment period, but those can be overcame, if you work together. Let's see what's happening here, man. I've been in one, I think every relationship, not by choice. If it wasn't by choice, then you wasn't in a poly relationship. We explained this already. The premise is honesty, and everybody knows what's going on. That's what it's about. All right. So if it was shut down on your end, Janine, what was the follow up conversations? Or like you said earlier, did you just bust a move after that? Did you just bust a move after that? Let me know what was the follow up after that. I don't understand. Like, well, I guess I do understand because I have been in those positions where you just can't have certain conversations with certain people because they just can't hear you. So yeah, I get it. I get it. Sometimes people just are stuck in their own ways or on their own side and they can't see your point of view. It's definitely poly all over New York, Tara. It's definitely poly all over New York. Shout out to you, Janine, outsourcing. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do at some point, man. You tried. That's what I'm trying to say, man. What do people want you to do after you try and they purposely choose or can't listen to you? You did your part, man. That's how I see it. You did your part, man. You chose not to listen or you chose not to have the conversation. I also seen something earlier where they were saying people that are in those emotional states, you can't have the conversation because you're leading the conversation. Well, that person is receiving what you're saying in their emotional state. So you got to talk to grown-ups, man. Everybody say they grown, but they're not grown. Let's go through some of the comments, people. If anybody has any questions, put those in the chat and in the comment section as well. You definitely can't ask certain questions to some people, man. So I'm not mad at you for outsourcing, man. You did what you showed up, and they didn't show up for you. Let me see what Tara's saying before I get to the comments, man. Shout out to everybody that posted on the Uncensored Minds Facebook page on this topic. Definitely a great topic tonight, man. That's one thing I don't understand. If you agree to a poly relationship and then get jealous and want to pump up your chest because your partner is happy, like what the hell? Like Angelia was saying, I guess at the beginning stages, that's just human nature because it's easy to. I have two ways of viewing this. So it's easy to say if we're already together and then we decide, hey, let's be in a open or a polygamous relationship. It's easy to say, yo, we had to talk about this. Why are you acting jealous now? Because the conversation is not the same as seeing it and being a part of it. So you do have to go through those growing pains. But what I would say about polygamy is this. I don't think a couple who's already a couple should venture into a polygamous relationship. I think that when you first meet somebody, that should be a conversation. And then if you decide that you want to be polygamous, I think that is the better way. But to each his own, and I've seen it work out on both sides. But I think, just me personally, I think that it's better to, from the gate, be like, this is what we're doing, X, Y, and Z, than to have already something established and then decide we're going to bring other people in. Because I think that's where the majority of the jealousy and the insecurity shit kicks in. Because you're not used to it. You're not used to that person dealing with other people. All right, Janine, I got you. What's up, people? See, this is one of the a lovely point that I had seen where people were saying this kind of relationship is with somebody with darkness inside of them or they're empty inside. Why does that mean that they're empty inside? Because they're acknowledging that their person or just one person does not fulfill them. That don't make that person dark or empty inside. That makes them actually more grown up than most people to acknowledge their own truth and honesty. I mean, it's just my thought. Welcome to the Prophecies, people. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, like, and share the video, all that good stuff. Shout out to all the members. Make sure y'all get y'all memberships if you don't have one, because these conversations are normally members only, man. All right, let's see, man. All right, Sarah is saying, my bad. I ain't supposed to be saying names over here, but she said, I'm good. It's not enough of me to go around. So you're saying that you don't have love for more than one person, or you just only have enough love for one person? What are y'all thoughts, man? All right, man. Let's see. Let's see here, people. All right. Somebody else said that's the problem with relationships today. Folks want you and everybody else. Pick a side. What are y'all thoughts on that, man? Because folks want you and everybody else. What if that one side is not fulfilling enough for them? They don't have the option or the choice to want more? why is there such limitations on what a person chooses or wants to fulfill them when it comes to love? So let's say, let me see what Janae's saying. I know someone who said one has sex with one, she goes out with one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can have a companion. One can just be a companion. That don't mean you have to have sex. Like I said earlier, or I've been saying the whole video. Polygamy doesn't mean that everybody has to have sex with everybody, or everybody has to have sex with multiple people. It just means that you don't put any limitations on it, or you recognize where something is lacking and you allow that person to fulfill that. Some people want you to share them, but they don't want to share you. Uh, I'll agree with that to an extent. I'll agree with that to an extent, but that's also a conversation. Are we having the conversation of the motherfucker? That's not fair. The fuck? Like the fuck? Let's have a conversation of, if you want, like I always try to tell y'all, I try to be not a hypocrite in these areas. So when I say, if you want to do something or you want to talk to other people, it has to be, you know, a fair playing field. You have to allow that person to do those things as well, man. We don't control people, man. I always try to keep telling y'all think y'all control. Y'all was the one saying, no, that's mine, his mine, I own him, I'm possessive. I told y'all that is never what real life is. That's not real life. It's not real life. Yeah, Janine, that's a perfect example of poly, meaning you have your substantial relationship, your one, and you might have a companion. Don't. That's what I'm saying. Y'all looking at this bad. Don't view it as sharing. View it as love. Love, man. It's love. It's not sharing. It's love. It's everybody's loving, not everybody's sharing. They don't want to hear what, Angelia? All right, let's see if we have any more comments before we get up out of here, man. Let's see, people. Some people are not articulate about their needs and desires. I'll definitely agree with that to the highest level. Most people don't even know. All right, Tina, Renee, I see you. We're gonna be wrapping up soon anyway. We almost had our hour mark. Most people don't even know what their wants and needs are, and that is another problem. Before we even get to polygamy or monogamy, that's why step number one was identifying your wants and needs. That is always step number one, regardless of we talk about polygamy or monogamy. Step number one is always identifying your wants and needs. That's always step number one. Identify your wants and needs. It's definitely an adult conversation about other people's wants and needs. So that's a fact. That's a fact. We have to acknowledge both sides of the coin, people. What's up, people? Does anybody have any last words or questions or comments on polygamy or not? And let me know in the chat. The topic tonight is too poly or no. So as we've had the discussion now for an hour and we went through some of the ins and outs, because there's a whole lot of shit that goes into this. It's a multitude of layers and or reasons why people choose to indulge in polygamy. Y'all let me know in the chat and in the comment section to poly or no. So yes or no. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's your answer. That's another thing that I want to make sure that we say moving forward. There is no right or wrong answers. Every answer is your specific answer or what fits you. Because everything is not going to fit everybody. Everything is not going to fit everybody. Man. So to poly or no, people. Say yay or nay. Or I see the maybes. I see the maybes. I see the maybes, man. I see the maybes, man. Let me ask y'all, since it's a majority of women in the chat, man. If your person turns out to be bedridden for whatever reason, do you stay by his side and never indulge, even if he gives you the blessing to? What if your person is bedridden and he gives you his blessing to fulfill your needs? Not to leave me, but if you need to fulfill your needs, go on ahead and fulfill your needs. Are y'all still saying no? Are y'all still saying no? I see Janine saying she's ready to get her poly on. Tanya King, what do you mean? Is it a? It's a thought. It's a thought about. It's a maybe. So you're at the maybe. Are you a maybe? Are you at the maybe? Angela is saying she's indulgent if her person is bedridden. I think that's why Janine said yes. Stephanie said it's a no for her. Tanya King said it's a no for her. So y'all are asexuals then. That means you're asexual. That if your person is bedridden and then you just choose not to, you know, do anything, even though you were given a blessing. I'm a highly sexual person, people. I'm sorry. So at some point, I'm going to want to have sex, and I don't. That doesn't mean I'm going to leave you, but can we have a conversation? Can we talk about it? Jeez, Louise, I gotta suffer. Tiny King is saying yes. I'm still saying no. I'm finding some kind of way to excite him. There is no exciting him, Helen. He's bedridden. He's paralyzed. He's paralyzed. There is no exciting him, man. What about exciting yourself? How are you? How are you fulfilling yourself? Is what I'm asking. How are you getting your wants and needs done, man? Nah, I already did, Polly. Shout out to you, Tara. She's awesome. I already did, Polly. If I was given the blessing, then yes. Tara, if you already did Polly, then you're supposed to come on and tell your story. Man, I gotta find me a community of people who want to come on and share their experiences and their stories. Y'all don't want to speak up enough. That's another problem that we have as well, man. Y'all gotta start speaking up, people. Come on, I don't bite. Come on and share your story. You know, we could have a little back and forth, whatever. We could have a little chit chat, or we could just talk, whatever it may be. Let's speak, people. Y'all be holding it too close to the vest, man. Nobody don't want to talk about nothing. If I was bedridden, I would want him to go and get him some. Thank you, Janine. Salute. Salute to you, Janine. You're a real one. Yes, a lot. Most people just want you to sit there and suffer with them and shit. Now y'all both bedridden. Nobody getting none. Yeah, Helen, there is no wrong answer. I'm just making jokes, man. I'm just making jokes. Tiny King said, yes and no. I'm going to get mine on with the bedridden dude. How are you going to get it on with the bedridden dude? He can't get erect. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all just be making up shit at this point. Now y'all getting it on with the bedridden dude. You get him excited. That's the purpose of bedridden. You can't. I can't. Hey, Tara, we're going to talk. Because And like I said earlier, y'all always saying shit, but y'all ain't never really saying shit. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Y'all always saying shit, but you ain't never really saying shit. All right, people, we're gonna be wrapping up. We at our hour mark. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight to our to Poly or Null conversation. If anybody didn't see me and Isha's review of Married at First Sight, that was just released. What was that? Yesterday? Yesterday, or I don't know. I don't even know what day it is anymore. But go check that out. Um, Another episode just dropped tonight, so I'm gonna go watch that in a little bit. That's my shit. Um, you gonna get what? He said I'm gonna get mine if I had one. You gonna get what? Tanya King. What y'all gonna get, man? All right, people. Any last questions? Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button. All the time, y'all don't be hitting the like button. Sometimes you gotta X out the chat and then just hit the thumbs up button. That helps with the algorithms. Make sure y'all like and share the video to push the channel forward and make sure it brings more people in and more eyes so we can start. That's why I said start, because I'm trying to have the conversations that people are afraid to have, man. Trying to have the conversations that people are afraid to have. Oh man, should y'all think I should release my next topic? Because I just worked this out earlier. Should I release the next topic or no? Y'all ready for it? And should I drop the question? I seen a lot of people yesterday was mad that I dropped the question yesterday. So should I drop the question on Mondays or should I drop the question on Tuesdays before the show? I drop it on Mondays because a lot of times people be like, I didn't see it. I never saw it. So I drop it on Monday to give people a chance to make sure everybody sees what the topic is and, give their answer before the show. So y'all think I should drop it on drop the question or the topic on Monday or Tuesday before the show, man. Yeah, Tara, we definitely gonna talk. We definitely gonna talk, man. I see people saying Monday. All right, y'all good with Monday? Okay. I'll leave it up to Monday then, man. All right, the topic on Monday works. Okay. All right, I'll leave it up on Monday then, man. I'll leave it up on Monday, man. Yeah, make sure y'all bring y'all notepads. I gotta send out a couple notepads to people. If anybody needs any merch, man, see the Prophecies shirt merch is going well. Hoodies and t-shirts in all colors. And without vision, there is no understanding, and without understanding, there is no vision. That's what the prophecies stand for, people. We gotta understand what we're talking about before we give answers. I see people left and right jumping out of windows. Like, no, I would do this. I want to do that, and I don't be know what it actually is. You gotta know what it is, man. You gotta know what it is, man. You gotta know what it is. I see what you're saying, Tanya King. I only don't do the prophecies on Monday because it's Monday Night Football. It's Monday Night Football on Mondays. So the prophecies will remain on Tuesday at 8 p.m. The prophecies will remain at Tuesdays at 8 p.m., man. All right, people, we're going to get up out of here. I'll give y'all a little hint in a day or two to what the topic is going to be. I'll give y'all a little hint in a day or two to what the topic is going to be. I'll make sure y'all stay tuned to the prophecies. If anybody missed anything, go back and watch the review or the recap or replay, whatever y'all want to call it. Go back and start from the beginning if you missed any of the videos with the people speaking about polygamy, then make sure y'all rewatch those videos because there's a lot of information in those as well. And shout out to Ayala Vezan and the other two people that spoke on polygamy in those videos. It was I learned a lot in like the last 3 or 4 days. I always knew what polygamy was, but to see the deepness of it, that people, like I said, people always assume that when you speak of polygamy, that means it's just a lot of people fucking everybody like it's an orgy. No, that's an orgy. Polygamy is about love. It's about loving more than one person. You don't have to have sex with more than one person. It's just about love. And if you understand that, then welcome to being a grown up. Welcome to being a grown up. Welcome to being a grown up. You can or you will just in life have love for more than one person. All right, I'm signing off, people. This is the Prophecies. I am the prophet. And until the next time, people, y'all have a good one. Be safe. Be careful. Be mindful of the weather and the people. Shit is crazy outside. But we'll see y'all next Tuesday, people. Deuces.